This one's coming from Anambra State. Gunmen launched a deadly attack on the Nawfia community in Njikoka Local Government Area of Anambra State on Sunday night, killing 5 people and injuring several others. The attackers arrived in a Lexus RX Jeep and a Toyota Sienna, opening fire on unsuspecting residents. Now, among the victims were 2 local youths, 26-year-old Samuel Onyebuchi and 29-year-old Chukwuebuka Ifeanyichukwu, as well as non-indigenous residents. The Nawfia Progressive Union, through its president, General Daniel Okoye, condemns the killing and call for justice. The police is yet to issue an official statement on the matter, but it doesn't change the fact that we already have the reports about this sad incident. Insecurity, we have been hearing a lot about that coming from the north, and now we have heard a case coming from Anambra State. What do you think about this story?
Practically, it's condemnable. Everybody is going to condemn this when you get something like this, that you get into a community and you open fire on armed people who probably were going about their businesses or going about their daily routine in their place of residence or place of work. And that is really, really sad. You know, there has been a lot of issues from the eastern part of the country when it has to do with insecurity. The issue of insecurity has been a rising issue in the eastern region of the country because of a lot of agitations. And right now, we do not even know who the agitators are anymore. A lot of things began with the issue of succession. A lot of issues began with the topic of breakaway. A lot of issues also came up with the issues of unknown gunmen and all of those things. Now, a lot of issues came through the issue of the discussion of sit at home. Now, so many things have happened. So many things are unfolding in the eastern part of the country. So we do not even know who these persons are anymore. You don't know the faces behind the mask anymore. You cannot point out to say it is this group or it is that group, and this is the reason for which this has been done, or that is the reason for which it has been done. So practically, we are going to condemn this, even if the police have not issued an official statement on this. Everybody knows that so long as lives are lost, properties are lost, then we should first begin by condemning that action before we begin to even look at investigations. So I condemn that action that has come up from the eastern part, which is precisely in Anambra State. I also want to say something to my brothers in the east. It is very important that we note that as much as we continue to perpetrate crimes, violence, attacks, and mayhem on the people residents in the eastern part of the country, we continue to demarket the east. That is the truth about it. Whether we like it or not, we may have a very correct agitation, we have a very correct agenda, but how you go about your agenda is important. That's why every organization has a vision and a mission. The vision is what you want to achieve. The mission is how you achieve it. What are you doing to achieve your vision or what you are agitating for, your agenda? You may be going about your agenda the wrong way. And when you are doing that, you may think that you are sending a message. Oh, we're hurting people, we are doing this, we are doing that. But at the end of the day, you are demarketing the eastern region of the country. A lot of people who would have done businesses in the eastern part of the country would not be able to do business in the eastern part of the country. When you do sit at home on a Monday morning, for instance, Monday morning is a productive day. Everybody looks forward to going to work. Everybody looks forward to going to open their business after the bustle of the weekend. And then you tell everybody to sit at home on a Monday morning, which is supposed to be the active day of the week, a business day that everybody starts their week with. And then they sit at home. When they sit at home, you have to note that there will be a lot of losses on the side of your people who are residents in the eastern part of the country, who record so much losses in their businesses for that particular day because they will not be able to open their shops. And those who attempt to do that suffer a lot of harsh measures and eventually get to lose their lives because they invaded or they flaunted the sit-at-home order. And now we do not know where this particular attack is coming from. But you must take the message home. You are demarketing the East. And as you continue to do that, you continue to scare away investors who would have wanted to invest their funds in the eastern part of the country.
Now, talking about
the eastern part of the country is very, 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 very important when you talk about business in this country.
All right, thank you. Talking about the seat at home now, since you made reference to it, yesterday we heard in the news that one of the eastern governors was actually talking to the traders about the seat at home and telling them to make sure that they come to their shops, right? They open up their businesses, because there was like an inspection on a Monday and he found out that the traders were at home, a lot of them, and their shops were locked. Now, one of the reasons they do this is, aside the whole talk about the seat at home, there's this enforcement, right? So the people are usually scared to open up their shops due to security reasons and how safe they would be. So they would rather sit at home. Some of them, I know, might not want to, but because of their safety, although the governor went on to tell them that security will be provided and he has assured them of their safety when they get to open up the stores or their shops. Now, when we talk about the protest that's going on in some parastatals, when we talk about strikes, you hear some Nigerians saying things like, sometimes to drive home your point, you need to go further than just dialogue, right? Where, especially with the ASU strike and all of that, people who make excuses for that. So how far do you think, how much result and how effective do you think these agitations that these people have, with the way that they are going about it, how much result do you think they have actually seen with that?
I cannot sit over that as a judge, but I will be able to contribute my quota as much as possible.
Okay.
What I can say is, regardless of how much successes or failures they have recorded, what I can add to that is, the more you continue to agitate violently, the more you make the area inaccessible to people who have come in to do business with you. As much as you are agitating for something, there is a life to live today. While you look forward to a tomorrow of success in your agitation, don't forget that there is a life to live today. If farmer will go to farm to plant a seed, knowing that it takes time to harvest. While you are waiting for harvest period, do not forget that there is a life to live between the planting season and the harvest period. That is my admonition to the people in the eastern region of the country.
But you know that this still needs to be, this still needs to be addressed, because it goes way beyond just talking to them and telling them, oh, align and work in order and all of that. The government has a huge role to play in putting a stop to this. Don't you think so?
That's what I was about to say next. When you said the governor of the state comes out to address, telling them to come out to do their businesses, but the governor of the state will be there with them. It's like when you give directives from Abuja, for instance, and say the IG of police said, everybody, I like using that example, go on the streets and do your daily businesses, don't allow anybody to search your phone, they do not have the warrant or the right to search your phone. But that directive came from Abuja. Now somebody is on the street in one community and there's a roadblock in front of you and they say, everybody get down, bring out your phone and let's search your phones. And then you want to tell them that the IG of police said this. Is the IG of police there with you to defend you when something happens to you? So when the governor says go about your business, the governor must put measures in place to ensure that the people can actually go about their businesses. Secondly, the government in the eastern region it's critical that they get to be a part of these agitations. Now, how do they get to do that? They have to come into the diplomatic aspect. They are the ones that have these people in their territory or in their region. To be able to call these people, they know you have security votes every month going down. What are you doing? Are you going to tell me that the people in the eastern region of this country do not know the people who are perpetuating all of this violence and mayhem on the people in that region? It is impossible to come to terms with that or to agree with that statement. Because I believe that they do know who these people are. They even sit down most of the time, they know themselves. At the end of the day, the governments in the eastern region should come together, take the agitation from these people, look into it, see what can be done about it, and present this to the federal government as much as possible. Through senators that they have, they can get a legislation
that can be in their favor. If somebody from all the senators and the House of Representative members from the Eastern region, of course, we have the minority leader of the Senate is from the minority leader of the House of Reps. Sorry, the deputy speaker of the House of Reps is also from the East. So if they can go about this in a more diplomatic way, that is the agitators coming to terms with the political class, and then they say, okay, look, all of you, whatever they are agitating for is for the Eastern region at the end of the day. So you know that you are likely going to benefit or not from the process. So you call them to roundtable discussion. What is the problem? If you claim you do not know what the problem is, what is the problem? When you call them to the table, you have a discussion, and then you go ahead to say, okay, fine. Now we've had this robust discussion. This is the outcome of our discussion. We're going to put this on the white paper. We're going to make a presentation to all our senators and all our reps, members, and then we'll pass this to the appropriate quarters, the House of Reps and the Senate. And then when these are deliberated in those various, on those floors, they can actually have a legislation that can favor them.